Most people eventually hit a point where those flimsy supermarket strips just aren't cutting it anymore. You want a real professional result. But upgrading to a professional dental solution immediately forces a choice. Do you sit in a clinic for an expensive one-hour session or commit to a cheaper multi-week homework assignment? Getting this wrong means either blowing your budget on a service you didn't actually need or signing up for a daily routine you will abandon out of sheer frustration. The first thing to understand is that both methods use professional-grade whitening gels. If you follow through with either, the final clinical outcome, the actual brightness of your teeth, is essentially identical. Since the destination is exactly the same, your decision has nothing to do with finding a stronger chemical. It is purely an exercise in resource allocation. You are deciding whether to spend your time or your money. If we plot this on a matrix, mapping speed against cost, the in-chair method sits in the upper right, paying top dollar for maximum velocity. The take-home kits drop into the lower left, a lower financial barrier but inherently slower. So the right choice isn't hidden in the dental science. It is found by identifying which of these two profiles actually matches your daily lifestyle constraints. Let's look at the mechanics of the in-chair method, typically using a system like Zoom whitening. You walk into the clinic, set back, and the dental team handles the entire procedure. Your primary input here is financial. You pay a premium upfront fee to condense the entire treatment into a single session. The outcome is immediate gratification. You walk out of the clinic in roughly an hour with teeth that are visibly several shades whiter. You completely bypass the homework phase. There are no daily reminders to set, no progress to track, and no messy application trays to clean in your bathroom sink. But that level of delegation comes with trade-offs. By utilizing clinic time and a professional staff, the initial barrier to entry for your budget is significantly higher. There is also a variable regarding physical comfort. Because the chemical application is rapid and concentrated, you have far less microcontrol if you experience sudden tooth sensitivity during that hour. Finally, you are paying strictly for a service. When the appointment is over, you leave without any physical equipment to perform minor touch-ups down the road. Choosing in-chair whitening is an intentional purchase of time. You are deliberately trading away long-term financial efficiency to secure an instant, zero-effort result. The custom take-home alternative operates on the exact opposite logic. It still starts with a clinic visit, but only so the team can take a precise physical mold of your teeth. You receive a set of professional, custom-fitted trays. These are permanent physical assets tailored specifically to your anatomy, entirely different from loose retail strips. The primary input shifts entirely to you. You supply the personal discipline to self-administer the professional-grade gel and wear the trays at home, day after day. As a result, the whitening unfolds gradually over several weeks. If you have an event this weekend, this method is mathematically unviable. However, that slow pace offers a distinct advantage in bodily control. If you encounter tooth sensitivity on a Tuesday, you simply skip Wednesday's application. You dictate the tempo. The real financial leverage comes from owning the hardware. Because you keep those custom trays indefinitely, future touch-ups only require purchasing a low-cost refill syringe of gel from the clinic. When we stack these two methods into a comparison matrix across all major variables, the contrast is stark. Looking at the in-chair column, it maximizes your speed and minimizes your effort, but it scores poorly on upfront cost and long-term maintenance. The take-home side demands high daily effort and offers low initial speed, but it completely maximizes your sensitivity control and long-term maintenance value. The trays offer a massive return on investment, but that return is strictly locked behind your willingness to supply consistent daily effort. Let's translate those features into a practical decision framework for your specific situation. We can look at this flowchart to map your constraints. The absolute primary filter is your timeline. If you have an immediate deadline, say under 7 days, the slow multi-week timeline of the take-home option is instantly eliminated. This fits the fast-track professional profile. If you have an impending graduation or wedding, or if your hourly personal time is simply worth more than the clinic fee, in-chair whitening is the strictly correct choice. If you are without that time pressure, you move to the secondary filter. You have to weigh your desire for financial savings against your tolerance for physical effort. If you prioritize maximum convenience and refuse to add another daily task to your evening routine, logic leads you right back to the clinic chair. But if you want to optimize your budget, you take the path toward the custom trace. This defines the control-oriented optimizer. It is the mathematically superior choice for budget-conscious users, heavy coffee drinkers who will inevitably need frequent touch-ups, or anyone with a known history of sensitive teeth. Whichever path you land on, there is one mandatory prerequisite. You need to consult a local professional, like the team at My Gentle Dentist Brookside, to assess your baseline oral health and enamel strength before any gels are applied. Ultimately, picking a whitening method is never about hunting down a stronger chemical. It is simply about finding the specific operational model that aligns with your calendar and your wallet, guaranteeing a safe, sustainable path to a brighter smile.